Me, 26F, and my boyfriend, 30 meters, have been dating for 3 years. We don't live together because we both want to get married first because our parents wouldn't agree to cohabiting before marriage. I've been fairly obvious about wanting to get married, and my boyfriend has picked up on it. Last week we went to my great-aunt's funeral. Although I didn't know her very well, I was still upset, and it was really hard to see how much it hurt my mother. So after the funeral, we went to a hall that we rented to cater to the other mourners and to remember her. My boyfriend saw this as a chance to propose. This left me mortified, and everyone was staring at us for using this to make it about ourselves. I said no, and he got angry and walked off, saying that I'm the one who wants to get married, so I shouldn't care where he proposes. He also said that if I truly loved him, I would say yes. He's ignoring me right now, and he won't give me a chance to explain. In any other scenario, I would say yes, but I didn't think it was the right place or time. I'm wondering if I'm the asshole because I rejected him even though I want to get married. When I asked my coworker, she agreed that what I did was wrong, but I want some more opinions from people who don't know me. So, Ada? Edit, I'm seeing a lot of comments talking about how we let our parents dictate our lives, so I just want to clarify that we both live on our own and have spent long periods of time at each other's apartments. The only reason we don't live together is out of respect for our parents' views. I have a roommate and he doesn't, so I spend most of my time at his place. We just don't officially live together. Thank you for all your responses. We're both speaking to each other about everything, and we both agree that we should have communicated more about our future together. The situation is progressing, however, I'm reevaluating our relationship and things that have happened recently and in the past. He's adamant about being right because he believes that he was trying to cheer everyone up by giving us something to celebrate instead of mourn. I didn't realize how emotionally immature he really is. Update. A lot has happened since my first post. Firstly, me and my boyfriend have since broken up. This was for a multitude of reasons, the biggest of which was that he cheated on me. My former boyfriend and I had not been living together, but I did spend most of my time staying at his place, as I had a roommate and he never. However, when I went to visit him, his friend told me that he had been cheating on me and had gotten another girl pregnant. This crushed me because we had been dating for nearly 4 years. This led to us breaking up. When I questioned him about why he had cheated, he told me he wasn't the type to commit to anyone, despite initially pleading with me with the promise that we would be in a committed relationship. This was hard for me to understand, as we had been speaking about marriage in the future. When we used to talk about marriage, he would always say that he would never be happy in a marriage where he got proposed to, as it would be an insult to his masculinity. Looking back on this, I should have realized that he had many noticeable toxic traits. He proposed to me at my aunt's funeral, which is something I will never understand. When I asked him why he did that, he initially claimed it was to make everyone happy, but when I pushed him for more information, he told me it was to show his lover that I was a bad person. This is because he was cheating on me with my aunt's friend's daughter, who was at the funeral. So he proposed to me to show that our relationship is over to that girl in order to justify why he was cheating, even though he knew that I was grieving. Since we broke up about 3 weeks after the funeral, his friend who exposed the affair to me told me that because she was pregnant, he had to find a way to make her not leave him and chose the funeral to make a public display for her. I haven't seen him since the breakup, and his friend moved all of my stuff out of the apartment for me, so I don't have to see him. His family is very strict, and because he is having a child out of wedlock, they have refused to help him, so he has been contacting me for help. I haven't responded, nor do I intend to respond, because I will not lower my self-worth to help someone who never truly cared about me. Since our breakup, my life has improved as I can now do the things that he never wanted me to do, and I've now realized how lucky I am that we never married.
I'm not allowing my bratty kids to my house anymore. Ida? My ex and I have been divorced for 3 years and share custody of our children, 5M and 7F. The kids are with me on Wednesdays and every other weekend, but the ex and I have sometimes switched things around depending on what we have going on, and that has worked well for us in the past. There were several factors that ultimately led to our divorce, but a huge thing was that my ex babies to the extreme. Both kids breastfed until age 3, and my oldest was spoon-fed until almost 5 years old. These are just examples, but on a day-to-day basis, there was a lot happening that I just couldn't accept. This past Wednesday I had the kids. I had a date night planned with my fiancée that night as well, and so I got a babysitter. I travel regularly for work and this was the only night this week that we could celebrate fiancée's birthday, but getting a babysitter while I have the kids is not a normal occurrence. 2 hours in, I get a call from the babysitter who is totally overwhelmed because my 5-year-old is on the toilet after going number 2 and refuses to wipe himself. He says he needs mom or dad. I can literally hear the wailing in the background. That is how stressed this kid was. Fiancé and I end up having to drive an hour back home, and when we get there, 5 meters is still on the toilet waiting. At this point I am completely mentally exhausted. I try to coach him on wiping, and he just will not do it. His mother always does it for him and I have had to do it when it's my turn to take the kids, but I've been actively working on trying to help him gain independence in the bathroom for the past year or so. I went through this exact thing with my daughter as well, who thankfully no longer has this issue. The next morning I dropped the kids off at school. I called my ex to let her know that I will not have the kids at my house anymore, for as long as she continues to enable this extremely dependent behavior. She of course flips her shit and says I am a complete asshole. Says I am a bad father who doesn't care about his kids. I'm willing to visit them and go for outings, but I can't handle this stress in my home any longer. It causes an extreme disruption in normal everyday activities and I am just done. It's been a constant fight trying to help these kids learn independence for years now, having them go back to their moms, and then starting right back at square one the next time I get them. X says she will be contacting her lawyer for full custody and at this point I'm too exhausted to fight. Ida?
I'm leaving my disabled boyfriend who saved my life at the cost of his own. 3 years ago, my boyfriend and I were walking down a wet and busy road on holiday in Thailand when a car swerved at a violent speed, trying to avoid a stupid biker stopping on his phone in the treacherous weather that it was. My boyfriend, being the quick-thinking man he is, saw my frozen, terrified body in the direct vicinity of the moving car, and he jumped in front of me, pushing me away from the impact at the same time. I was left with some nasty grazes, but other than that I was fine. My boyfriend was left paralyzed from the waist down. He now lives life in his wheelchair. He has been diagnosed with PTSD from the accident and often has flashbacks in which he'll scream and sweat. He is distant and cold. His mental health is, to put it lightly, very bad. He spends most of his time on his PlayStation and we haven't been physically intimate for months. If he's not playing games, he'll be at the pub with his mates. He does White Rock with. He says he can't enjoy Bang Bang anymore. He says he doesn't enjoy Bang Bon, with being the way he is. I've tried to tell him I still think he's gorgeous and no attraction is lost. He doesn't believe me. He has gained about 50 pounds and finds no value in healthy life choices anymore. I feel like I'm living with my best friend who I'm in love with, but like I'm in some sort of friend zone. He says I'm being paranoid. It's him, not me. He tells me he loves me. He has tried therapy. He has made an attempt to not do White Rock on the weekends. He doesn't want to do it. I have tried to encourage him to do both many times. He says he doesn't resent me. All of my friends talk about how lucky I am and how he loves me so much, but I think that's fucked up because they have no idea what it's like to be in a partnership with someone who is paralyzed. My feelings are just as strong for him as they are when I fell in love with him. But I can't do it anymore. I am exhausted. I will forever be known as the woman who left her disabled boyfriend after he saved her life at the cost of his own. My husband told me he had an affair, so I threw my ring in the ocean. It turns out it was a prank and he's pissed. This is the dumbest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. This past Sunday, my husband, 29M, and I, 27F, were on our boat together. We were just relaxing, talking, and having a good morning. All of a sudden, my husband gets really serious and tells me, "Baby, I'm so sorry, but I have to tell you something. I'm so sorry, please forgive me, I had an affair." For context, my husband thinks he's a comedian. He says dumb shit all the time, but he's never joked about our marriage, relationship, or cheating, ever. The way he said it, I fully believed him. I was blinded by rage and hurt, and I'm not a confrontational person at all, so all I did was stand up, take my rings off, and throw them into the ocean. I don't even know why I did it, it was just the first thing I thought of doing. My husband's jaw hit the floor. He immediately started to yell at me that it was a joke, a prank, he wasn't serious, and I was an idiot. My jaw dropped then, too. I yelled at him too and called him the same. I cried too, realizing I just threw my lovely and sentimental rings into the ocean. We've been arguing for days. He says I'm the asshole, I say he's the asshole, and I have no idea who's right. Yes, admittedly, I threw about $10,000 worth of rings into the ocean, and we will never find them again, but he looked me in the eyes and told me he had an affair. I am upset about my rings. I've apologized for throwing them. But I just don't feel like an asshole. Help. My fiancé fractured my arm after thinking I had another man in our house. Should I marry my fiancé after he puts his hands on me? My 29F, fiancé, 36M, is an amazing guy. We first started off as friends, so the foundation of our relationship is pretty strong. He is so perfect and good to me in every way a man can be good to a woman. However, he can be very controlling and territorial, and because of his childhood, he has a lot of trust issues. He owns his own trucking company and is sometimes gone for days or even weeks at a time. Recently, he went away and was coming back, and I was excited to see him. When he came back, the neighbor's car was parked in my driveway, which it never is, but I gave him permission to do so because of an event he was having at his house, and our house doesn't allow parking on the street. When my fiancé came home, I was in the bathroom shaving, and all of a sudden he came in, yelling, "Who the fuck is in the house?" and checking in the shower, closet, bed, etc. I remember feeling so confused that I didn't even respond. He grabbed me by the arm and kept shaking me, calling me a fucking liar, saying I was like his mom, and doing a lot of other hurtful things. When he found no one in the house, I eventually realized he saw the neighbor's car and thought I had another man there. There were also a man's boots on the steps, but they were his, so I'm confused as to how things escalated in his mind so quickly. My fiancé fractured my arm, so I had to go to the hospital. Now he is apologizing, and I feel like, in my mind, if I marry him, I'm allowing him to think his behavior is okay. But another piece of me feels he is a good man. I have distanced myself from him since, and he keeps bringing me expensive gifts, jewelry, roses, and other nonsense. I have never experienced this side of him, and we have been together for 2 years. I am so torn and don't know what to do.